Now to our next story. Mayowa Ayodele was driving his taxi when some police officers approached him for a trip. Trouble started when he demanded for his fare. He was allegedly detained for days and later charged for oil bunkering and pipeline vandalism. Mayowa spent time in prison awaiting trial until a high court struck out his case for lack of evidence. He returned to find out that his car had allegedly been sold by the police in an auction. He is now demanding justice. Just Nigeria's Abayomi Adisa has his story.
If I see a policeman and at the same time see a snake, I would rather run away from the policeman.
I feel not like a human every time I think about Mayowa's case.
That day, I was at our park when they arrived. They pointed at my car, asking who owned it. I identified myself, and they hired me to take them on a round trip to Magboro area of Ogun State. I was told to drop them off at their station in Sagamu. 10 minutes after they entered their station, I went to ask them for the fare. They asked me how much was it, and I said 4,500 naira only. They told me, shouldn't I have known that the service was for government and there will be no payment? I asked how possible, and they laughed at my audacity. From there, I was detained and tortured. At some point, I was asked what I was using the car for. I replied it's a taxi and my route is between Owode and Mowe areas of Ogun State. Almost immediately, they said my car was used for bunkering. I replied, when you hired the car, did I look like one?
That's it.
2 days in detention, they asked me who I could call for my bail. I told them my wife. When she arrived, they told her I was stubborn, that I took them on a trip and asked for the fare. They said my taxi was suspected for oil bunkering. She was then told to pay 50,000 naira to bail me out, but she couldn't raise it. She was only able to raise 30,000 naira. Later, my family got involved and raised the requested 50,000 naira. I guess it was too late. The police officers rejected the money and told them the matter had escalated. When they read out my offense, I was shocked. I became really sad. This is a simple case of demanding payment for service rendered. Police officers shouldn't be caught conspiring against citizens.
The whole process leading to the arrest, to the detention, to the car, having his car impounded, and then to the trial and to the imprisonment and everything was a whole sham.
Since the incident, I have become homeless. I owed a year's rent and my landlord threw me out. That's how I got here. I now live in this village with my wife, and I do all the menial jobs we could do to survive. But now, she has gone with our only child to live with her sister. I can no longer take care of them. When I returned to the police station, they had changed the IGP squad. I saw my car outside and explained my case to the head of the team. I was detained for 3 days. An officer later gave me a phone to reach my wife, and she came with my lawyer, pleading that my car be released because it was all that I had, my only means of livelihood. At this time, the car had been badly used. When I saw that my car had been auctioned, I felt like fainting. I'm still sad because I do not have any other means of livelihood than this car.
Where properties are kind of recovered in such instances. Section 31 to 32 says that they could be kept for 6 months. And of course, by common sense, the essence of keeping them for 6 months is to see whether or not owners would come and lay claim to the properties. But after 6 months, so as not to clog the police division or stations, such things could be placed on sale. But that was not the case here, right? It's not a case of a lost or accidental vehicle. You know, crime is basically against the state, but this is beyond crime. It's beyond having done wrong against the state. It is crime not against the state, but against humanity.
I want Nigerians to help me beg the police to return my car so that I can pick up the pieces of life again and take my family back. All I want is my car.
We hope that the truth of this matter comes to light.